What up, what up, what up? It is your boy, Hungar. Happy Friday, everybody.
What's happening, man?
Not just chilling,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, ready for the weekend, guys?
Yeah. Ready for the weekend. Doing exactly what I do during the week, minus paperwork.
Yeah, exactly. The weekend. What am I going to do? Well, nothing. And I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Hey, TCG, what up, buddy?
We got some new guys.
Okay, what's happening, man?
Crafty. Naming.
Yeah, I told the boy that we're getting ready to go to war again, and he's all excited.
Woohoo! This time we kill the French.
Mm-hmm. People on Conan haven't learned not to mess with us.
And to expect getting messed with by us.
The last person who messed with us, we have not seen them on since we've destroyed everything that they have.
We shall wipe all other players from existence on all servers.
Good luck with that, guys.
It will take some.
It took us 3 weeks to kill the one guy who I gave 1,000 steel to, and then he robbed our base. So it took us a few weeks to find him, but he no longer has a presence on the server.
Yeah. Vengeance is ours.
We put a ship today and put bombs in it and just bombarded his house.
Until it was gone. What should we plan on doing to you once we find out where you live, Shadow?
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
You're like, get off my lawn. What lawn? It's a crater now.
No. We gotta wait until Jackie's older and moves up because we want anything bad to happen to Jackie.
No. He's gonna help us do it.
I think you're gonna have to offer quite the incentive. If he wants to inherit my millions, he's gotta,
free Taco Bell. Mages, what up, everybody? What up?
We'll buy him a 20.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mage. Oh. We'll buy him a 20-cent taco. And give it to him after we've both taken a bite out of it.
Give him tacos. Taco Bell.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, he's going to Mexico during summer vacation for a couple weeks.
It's not the same.
So he'll probably be. I know, right? Oh, that's terrible. So he'll probably be pretty tired of tacos when he gets back.
There's a difference between tacos and Taco Bell.
Yeah. One's quality food, the other's from Mexico.
Your word, not mine, man.
Wow.
No shit.
That was great.
I've been there myself, and not going back. Not going back.
I've been to Laredo a lot. I pretty much lived in Laredo, so I just got good tacos from there.
Yeah, I was Chihuahua, Creole, Juarez,
Chihuahua,
Tijuana. Yeah, it was. I went there by myself on a bus for almost 2 weeks, and I didn't speak a word of English. I mean Spanish, English either, really, as you can tell.
Why did you go?
Cocaine and hookers.
That's all I could assume myself.
To meet my late girlfriend's family.
So welcome to the Best Friday Chill Stream.
Everyone who's watching.
All three of us.
Yeah, who is in the old chat? I can't see.
Mages and Crafty Gamer.
How's it going, guys? Hope you got some gaming going on this weekend. I've got a game tonight and another one Friday. Get to game with.
How was your game on
RPG
Table Breakers?
It was pretty good. There was a little bit of turmoil towards the end, but it's supposed to be a traveler one shot. So at some point, shit does have to hit the fan, and it literally did. It was fun. I hope you guys all go check it out. I appreciate the feedback. You can either watch it on Bruce Lombardo's channel or Baron G Rock's channel. And like I said, appreciate the feedback. It was literally my first time reffing online, and the first time I've been a GM in a little over a year.
I need to know how many times per minute did you make people do what's the die roll? It's right there. I always ruin these because I forget things. The roll for
Justin, have the question in your head and ready to go before you ask it.
Yeah. I'm brain farting. I should know this. Oh,
Perception?
That's the one. How many times per minute did you
never.
You did it wrong. We all know that role-playing games is requiring the players to roll perception. If you're not doing
don't allow it. Don't allow it. I tried to steer it toward as much RP immersion as possible, but
I just gotta say,
nobody's perfect.
You knew what I was failing to think of, so you must be a person who enjoys that.
I despise everything about it. That's not role playing. Tell me what you look at, what you're looking under, around, etc. I'll tell you what you see.
Oh, lies. You were I'm gonna watch this. You're like, roll perception. What's my name? Roll perception. Hi, my name is. No, you got to roll perception for that. I walk through the door. No, you got to roll perception to see if you can see the door. It's right there. You just described it. You got to roll perception.
Yeah, I really despise that whole mechanic. It takes so much away. I actually just finished reviewing. I don't know. It's taken 2 hours to upload, but the Amber Diceless role-playing game, and it's night and day difference.
I love the Amber books.
Amber.
Same here, man. Roger was a great guy, and the game, the Diceless role-playing game is obviously you got to read the books or you won't have a clue what's going on. I suppose you could if you were like the only guy in a group, they could help you out, but it was one of the first games that really hit home with me on getting into the character and just role playing and not the mechanics are pretty simple. Once you've made your character, you just do and say what you're doing and hope for the best, because man, that game is rough.
How they should be. We have at least one party member.
Yeah. I've never played it, but isn't that where you bid on things?
Yeah, when you make up your character, you each get X number of points to build your character, and when you go for your stats, there's an auction, and whoever, for example, bids the highest on strength, you're literally the strongest being in existence. When you bid on your psyche, if you win that one, you are the most well-endowed mystic or psychic being in the cosmos.
I'd just be the most well-endowed being in the cosmos.
You stole my joke.
What up, mages?
So you
Hello.
Hey, Don, how's it going, man?
Someone that knows what they're talking about is finally here.
I am. I'm procrastinating from work, so your timing of your stream is very good.
So am I.
Justin is the worst Canadian ever, Mages.
Is he the worst? I don't know. Yeah. I thought our country's leader was the worst.
Well, after Trudeau.
He was the lamppost.
There's this guy on Conan Exiles and his buddy speaking French. I was like, Justin, what are they saying? He was like, I don't know.
French is the demon's language.
You had to learn it in school. Literally, you had to learn it. It's a
requirement. Justin Thor, Justin Trudeau, you have the same name.
Lies.
That's why we never see you, live and in person. Like,
I don't need
I don't generally get political, but
No.
it's it's okay to call out our leaders when they're idiots.
You're being too kind to that individual.
I really had my eyes open during the old trucker rally. Let's just say that. Move on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, back to our plural playing games. That's a more cheerful topic. So
what do you got going on this weekend, John?
Tomorrow is my regular AD&D group, first edition. So
awesome.
They're and one guy who was supposed to be out says he emailed me and said, "No, I can make it. Don't give up my spot." So
that's cool.
Full group.
I hate when a game gets canceled. I freaking just hate it.
Well, I do this thing where, like, once we've locked a day, if people bail, I fill up the seats with guest players. And it keeps the campaign going. That's been my secret now. It's like a campaign continues, the world continues. If somebody can't make it, because once you start accommodating every individual and rescheduling, the game dies. You're done.
It only takes two cancellations to cancel the game.
Yeah, it can really derail everything. So it's a matter of, okay, well, tomorrow's game has 6 players. So, if 3 can't make it, it's like, all right, well, the 3 who make it continue, they come, and then I'll just find 1 or 2 people to sit in, and the game continues.
Yeah.
There's occasionally we get to a point in the situation, like in the game in context, where it's like, all right, we try to get everybody. Like they're on a big mission or they're going after a big bad guy. Okay, we'll try to work it out for that everybody can make it. But for general play, it's like, no. Otherwise, games die.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's a terrible thing.
It's better to kill off someone's character than to let the game die.
No, I'll never do that. I'll just remove them and just, okay, this character's off doing whatever they're doing. They're living their life while everybody else is adventuring.
That's close enough.
I don't know if you've watched my videos. You see my contrived character exits and entrances. It's just how we do it.
Yeah,
they just leave. Although usually between sessions, I'll do the time passage thing, real time passes. So if they finish an adventure and we play 2 weeks later, 2 weeks have passed or months have passed, because I'll assemble the bank time, right, and then that justifies every adventure finishes. Sometimes 6 months will pass, and the characters are living their lives. They're doing whatever they normally do. The adventure is the rare thing. It's not that they're always adventuring day to day to day.
Right.
To day.
That gets kind of unbelievable, after a while. I think if you put in that sort of, almost like alter ego or alternate identity, Batman, Bruce Wayne, and you put that stuff in the game right from the get-go, it makes the whole story more believable. These characters that are going from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon to dungeon, it feels a little video gamey, and after a while, they would only be known as that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have no other identity, no other.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important to pass time in the game, and and it's right there in the first ed DMG. Time away from the table should be counted as real time in the campaign world. and it's not practical. Like if you're in the middle of a dungeon and okay, guys, we'll pick it up next week, and we just freeze where it is. Obviously you're not going to have them sitting there for a week. So that what I do is I bank the time. And what I've started doing is even when an adventure is on, I just bank all of the time away from the table, and that's then when they finish the adventure and collect their XP. Because I don't do it every session. I tally it up, and then whoever completes the adventure gets the XP, right? And then it's like, okay, so we're advancing. I've tallied the bank now, or advancing 2 months, or advancing 6 months. And one time we advanced 1.5 years because it had taken that long to finish the whole adventure, and that works beautifully.
Yeah, I've done things like that. Do you do the training time and things like that?
Absolutely. Although when they're passing several months, it doesn't matter as much because the training time is in that time, and so that works out. The characters are doing their downtime; they're doing what they need to do. And when I do their living expenses, I also do it based on that banked time. Right, so it's all right. So we're off for 6 months. So make sure you have 6 months worth of living expenses, and often they don't.
James does is we each get 3 actions in between game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if one of those actions is not putting money up in the bank, the next game, we're pretty much broke because we've been out carousing, spending money, drinking, and all that shit. So you can say, hey, I'm going to learn a new skill. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a job. And I'm going to put money in the bank.
That's an interesting way of doing it. I subsume everything in the living expenses of the character. Like AD&D has 100 gold pieces per month per level of the character, and it's like, all right, and then that covers anything you can think of. It's like, okay, well, that's not just living expenses. That's maybe you got robbed, or maybe you paid taxes, or maybe you donated to the poor.
Right.
You know,
assuming assuming every character is going to drink and piss their money away,
it's kind of dumb, yeah. Especially when you have a paladin and a monk, right? It's like they're not going to be carousing a lot.
It's not every character is going to be out drinking and pissing their money away. Like Sean just said, some of them are going to be donating money and doing good works, charitable works and stuff with the poor. If they're like,
it's also a matter of you got to consider these characters are elite characters. Player characters are elite. The average person, I'm talking AD&D one first edition demographics. The average person is 0 level.
Yeah.
Adventuring class characters are 1 in 100. So a lot of that money also assumes they're hiring elite people to help keep their training up. So fighters aren't just lazing about pissing their money away. Fighters are practicing to keep their skills at the peak level.
They're hiring like the main fighter from the guild or what?
Yeah, to spar. Okay, you and I are sparring every day for 8 hours, so I can keep my extremely high skill at its peak level. So when I go into
it's like competitive weightlifters and athletes.
Yeah, I was just using drinking and whoring as what my character is doing, not every character.
Right, but it is a fair thing. Some characters will absolutely do that. So that's why an abstract monthly fee just covers whatever you need it to cover.
That's why I had a character invest in a vineyard one time.
That's why my dwarf and OSR actually owns taverns and shit because he's going to drink. He's a freaking dwarf fighter.
Drink. He's going to brew.
And don't forget,
that character was a brewer.
In a lot of situations, especially in ancient history, everybody drank because the water was shit.
You distilled the water to clean it out. Yeah.
Especially shipboard, great way to make sure you're not gonna get dysentery or something like that is not drinking the water. Kind of like going to Mexico.
Don't even drink ice in Mexico because what they making the ice out of?
You gotta be careful about drinking ice and. Yeah, no, you got to be careful of drinking ice in the tropical locations because you can get what was it? Hepatitis.
Dysentery. Yep. Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah, well, dysentery passes. Hepatitis can stay with you. So.
Yeah. My favorite one is hepatitis D. It's the rarest one.
Don, a question for you.
Mhm.
How do you discourage, like for example, especially in the early levels, when players are getting the XP? I know you kind of touched on it, but they suddenly want to stop everything to go train for that level.
We do it in between frickin'
Yeah, I do it between adventures. So,
yeah.
because I only award XP when an adventure is complete. Otherwise, I just keep a running tally of all the XP, and of course it's first edition, so they get XP for gold. So they have to figure out how they're dividing the gold or treasure, not just gold. But so I don't have to discourage it because it's a matter of time is going to pass. I was just saying several months can pass between the sessions, so then they're not really just abandoning an adventure.
Because I actually give out the XP almost, pretty much at the end of every night. If you earned it, you get it. That way I don't have to, keep track more than that night because I don't know when the next game will roll around. But I do, I have made players suffer through, months of, sorry, you can't train. It's not possible. Where you're at, whatever, it's just not possible.
If I were to do it that way, because I used to, when I did my second ed games, I would just award every session, but I wasn't doing level training then. But if I were to do it that way, I would probably say I just leave it to the players. That's fine. You got to go training, but you have to find a mentor if you don't already have one in your pocket, and it's time. So if they're on a time sensitive mission, well, guess what? You lose, right? Yeah. Whatever villain is getting away, whatever evil cult plan is going to come to fruition, you don't. The adventure doesn't pause because they want to stop and train. But
all that shit's always on the calendar and it goes off whether
exactly
it or not.
It's the player's game, so if that's what they want to do, let them. But you just have to think, okay, so while they're doing this, what would happen? What is the villain doing? What is the king dying or whatever you've got going on?
Do you ever do like the remember in the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Rings movie when Boromir was kind of training the hobbits along the journey? You ever do anything like that with an NPC?
Not really. Like I said, mostly when I run games, training is between sessions anyway. But training is intensive. As like that, I was just saying, these characters are the elite. So a couple of sparring sessions for 20 minutes on a journey isn't going to count as training. Although that,
well, I'm certain that was a little more than that.
If you were to do that. If you were to do that, it should only be for level 1 characters.
Well, the other thing is, let's look at the Lord of the Rings situation. Is they were traveling for months, so you could count the training as part of that time, right? It's like, okay, so during this time we're going to train this.
I wouldn't consider Pippin, Merry, Frodo, or Sam to be anything more than.
I would say Frodo is 0 level all the way through.
Well,
he doesn't really grow.
Samwise is like a level 10 bro.
Yeah, Samwise really grows. Like Samwise is the one. Well, Merry and Pippin fought in wars, so
exactly my point.
But at the beginning of the series,
to train.
But the other big consideration is that, of course, Lord of the Rings wasn't written around a D&D mechanic.
Yeah,
so
no, it's kind of the other way around.
And Shadow, how I would do it is like, if players want to train in downtime because they're going to rest and shit like that, like say somebody in the party is a thief and he wants to pick up some fighter levels. If there's like say they're 6th level, do 6th level thief, but he wants to pick up fighter level, he's got the XP to pick up the fighter level. Then the 6th level fighter could actually train the thief for his 1st level. I will let player characters train each other more than like an NPC that's just running around with them. Because 9 times out of 10, any NPC that's with the party is not going to be as skilled as the party members.
Right, unless it is, a special occasion or, for example, they don't have a ranger in the party and they need someone to, get them there. But the thing I was thinking about is, especially if it's a long journey and you don't want the party going into an area, let's say it's a dungeon, and they're only 1st and 2nd level, but you stocked it full of 5th, 7th level monsters.
They won't be going into that dungeon anyway. That would be ridiculous.
You should be
I
nerfing
didn't
the
like
Well,
that.
monster.
Be like,
you know,
hey,
they-
let's
I'm
play
I'm not
the-
going to tell them what level dungeon it is. If they decide, hey, we're going into, you know, such and such place because it sounds interesting, you know, I'll drop hints. But if they still, you know, plan on going there, you know, but it
Then
is
it's
far
time to
enough
re-roast
away.
some, it's time to re-roast some characters after a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you do your due diligence to make sure they have the information they need, but let them make their own choices. Absolutely.
Let an NPC
Right.
at the bar be like, you guys don't want to go there. Trust me, I've been there. I used to have a hand over here. You don't want to go there. You try to discourage the party to not go into a higher level dungeon that's too high for them. If they insist, then just make sure they have some clean character sheets and dice for it.
No, but anything's possible too. You know, I've seen players
Wonder if you could-
bite off more than they can chew, and you know, it's like, all right, it's a snatch and dash where they grabbed the most valuable treasure they could and they ran. They weren't defeating the dungeon. They were just there to
Loot
Right.
it.
loot up and go, and that works too. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
I played an OSE game on Tuesday, one of the ones I'm playing in, and the DM, we find this old temple, and the DM had he's described this mound of dirt on the altar, and there's two golden chalices, and we're like, okay, we don't and there's two giant skeleton statues behind it, and we're not trusting these skeleton statues. Okay, we're like throwing stuff at it. I tried turning undead just in case, nothing. It's like, okay, we still don't trust them, but we crept up to the altar and said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to grab these chalices and just run. Okay, and the DM's like, okay, and then me and one other player, we did it. We grabbed the chalices, but then it turned out the mound of dirt on the thing that we didn't pay any attention to was a gibbering mouther in just hiding dormant. And then it starts gibbering, and the whole group went insane. We all failed our saving throws, and we're wandering around. And then of course there's a big pit in the center of the room with an acid pool, and it's like we're wandering. You know, I don't want to wander
Who
towards that
builds that?
That's awesome.
But it was so funny,
Yeah, you know-
and the gibbering mouther was way above our pay grade. But we were like, we actually got out of the situations. Somebody went. Two people made their saving throws and went out, and then one of the random rolls on the madness was you attack the nearest person, and so the people were attacking the ones who had gotten to the door. So we actually, by virtue of the madness, were able to escape, and the others were using ropes to pull the friends out, and so stuff like that is great. So we were well above our pay grade, but we managed to figure it out. So it was good.
What is it? Was that the hidden shrine module?
I don't know. I don't know which one the DM was using. He had a
This is what it sounds like to me.
pre-made map, but it definitely wasn't Tomoe-chan, because that one I've run, but and I didn't recognize it, but it was something
It
else.
has some of the hallmarks of it. Here's another one for you guys. Where does all that freaking acid come from?
Exactly. Who the freak builds a giant pit full of acid in the middle of a room?
Mages.
Yeah, wizards. They
I
just
mean,
conjure it.
you can't find it out in the wild. You know, there aren't these giant acid pools just waiting to be, you know, drained for your
Well,
you know.
If I were to
little
try to
wizard's dungeon.
If I were to try to justify it in a way other than somebody crafted it using magic, I would say there was probably some volcanic activity nearby. Because volcanic activity will turn natural pools of water acidic, right? Now,
But how is it? You know what I
Lemon
mean?
juice is a lot more corrosive in the Forgotten Realms.
Well, did you guys ever play that one video game when you're actually the guy building the dungeon?
Oh,
To
No.
protect your treasure from the evil adventurers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a video game. What was it called? Oh, yeah, I played that one.
yeah, they just made a
and-
sequel to it like a year ago.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. There was also a game that I don't know if it ever actually got made called Horde, where you were the dragon, you know, trying to build the treasure for your horde and, you know, raiding villages and towns and things like that. And I don't think it ever actually got made, but there was Dragon's Horde, which was like a war game, or Dragon Rage, I forget, made by Heritage Models back in the early 80s, before they went under, where you got to play as the dragon. It was more or less a chit war game where one player was the protecting the town, and the other player was just a dragon, kind of like a medieval version of the classic game Ogre, where there's the ogre against the army or another ogre, and that was a lot of fun. But if you try and buy that game now, you're looking at over $100 for something that's just a couple of sheets of cardboard and barely a couple of sheets of paper.
Board games have become expensive, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no.
In some cases.
I just picked up Starship Troopers, the old Avalon Hill bookshelf game. I just picked up a copy, 100% complete, for $3.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
That's a good price. $3 for you in the United States. That's $3,000 for me in Canada, I think. But
Yeah, no, 300,000.
Hey, at least you're not in Australia, where it would be literally an arm, a leg, and your firstborn.
And that's after the 6 billion.
Joke's on them. I don't have a firstborn.
Well, you better get somebody's.
Well, no, see, that's just it. They'll hook you up, if you know what I mean.
But yes, you guys got any gaming looming?
Oh,
Sunday, I've got my game with my brother. I don't know if we're playing OSC or Warhammer Fantasy. Either way, I'm going to have a good time. And then me and Justice just playing Conan Exiles like mad. Your phone's ringing.
Yeah, it's me. I don't know who that is. I don't recognize the number, so they can go to voicemail.
Yeah. You know what I do? I like when
Nice way of
numbers
putting it.
that I don't know call me, pick up the phone. I'm like, hello, and thank you for calling Movie Phone. For English, press 1. Espanol, marque el número dos.
City Morgue. You slice them, we ice them. You stab them, we slap them. You kill them, we chill them. How may I help you?
I used to answer the phone with Bob's Butt Plug Emporium. How can I help you?
but then somebody tried to order something.
Yeah. There's something interesting. Years ago, when everybody had landlines, somehow our number got mixed in with a frickin' DreamWorks number. I don't know how, but people would call us all the time and try to pitch us movies and shit. I'm like, get an entertainment lawyer before you do anything. Like,
I would have had a blast with that one. Oh my God, I would have had a blast with that. Oh yeah, tell me more.
Our number
Really?
back in our number back in the 90s is really close to the local branch of the 2-for-1 pizza.
I mean, two for one's number is pretty distinct.
Yeah, like so we'd be like, yeah, that's
for Shadow and Hunger, 2-for-1 is a pizza chain, and their number is literally 2410241.
And our number was not quite that, but close enough.
is the pizza any good?
No. I mean, it'll hit the spot if you're hungry, but no.
We actually had a 2-for-1 here in California for a while, and it was cardboard.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of frozen pizza. I just knock your mind up with extra cheese and pepperoni.
Better than
Same
most
here.
frozen pizzas, especially when you get it fresh. I did like that with the student card in high school, you got an extra slice of pizza. So it was 3-for-1.
Yeah. 3-for-1 cardboard. Yeah. No, of the local chains, I think my favorite is a place called Pizzaville.
Pizzaville's good.
Pizzaville's really good.
Yes,
Yeah.
can you eat nothing but Domino's, man?
I eat pizza 4 times a week, okay? I know Pizzaville.
You're a slacker if you're only eating it 4 times a week. That's what I had for breakfast.
I don't know if Pizzaville is Toronto specific or if they have other locations elsewhere, but
I don't know. But they're good.
Little Caesars back in the day when I was a teenager. Yeah, now they're not so great, but back when I was a teenager, they actually had dine-in restaurants, and there was one that I would always go to every Monday night. They would have an all-you-can-eat pizza, crazy bread, and spaghetti for $6.
Buffet.
Yeah, that's talking about how far back we're going. I'm going back 32 years. But yeah, it was like my friends and I, we come out of gym class or karate class, and you got hungry 17-year-olds. Boy, I think we put them out of business.
I love crazy bread.
Yeah, crazy bread's pretty good. I'm
I
not
would go to
paying
Little
$6
Caesars,
for it.
order two. I go to Little Caesars, order 2 bags of crazy bread, be like, that's all I want.
Yeah, the crazy bread is still good if you get it while it's hot. If it cools
Yeah.
off, it becomes sludge. But
Yeah, but you go there and you order it first thing in the morning right when they open up, and get that piping hot. Burn your fingers when you try to grab it. Crazy bread. Baby.
well, I don't know about you where you are, but they make it fresh for you when you order it, so they don't have it on a bunch just ready to go. So when you get it, when you order it here, they make it fresh for you, but you still got to eat it fast.
Yeah. Even their tray pizzas, they had $5 pizzas before COVID. I don't know if they still do. They had that little window where you open it and pull it out.
Yep,
they're still fresh made,
reasonably fast. Yeah. I can't eat there anymore. Last time I had Little Caesars, I got violently sick, and it was like I think it was the food. So it's like now just the thought of Little Caesars is like. I was at a friend's there. Oh yeah, we're ordering Little Caesars. And I'm like, I'll pass.
I got sick off of Hungry Howie's. Man, I still eat that shit. But I'm more breadstick than I am like pizza from Hungry Howie's and Little Caesars. Like the Howie Cajun bread with cheese. I go there and get like cheese bread with a Cajun seasoning on it, so spicy cheesy bread. See, that's my jam.
Why does the stream always devolve into food?
Because it's lunchtime.
Yeah, it's lunchtime.
You know this is Hungar's chaos.
It's a chaotic neutral live stream. I mean, come on. I'm waiting for you to totally run with that branding there.
Breakfast with Hungar. It's only 10 a.m. here. It's breakfast with Hungar.
Well, it's still a meal time.
Yeah. Well,
and all live streams divulge into discussions of food. That's just a proven fact.
Because there's a couple of fat guys here. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I'm a little tubbier on the midsection, but I've still got spindly arms and legs.
I am all that is man.
I am all that is dough.
Justin, your gag ass man.
Oh.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah.
I put that fur on the
That's fucking funny.
Fuck you.
Just the other day, okay, we all went out adventuring and died in Conan Exiles. And when you die, you lose everything. You know, you lose everything. So I logged off. I was like, hell with it. I'm going to bed. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and I have a meme that's one of the from the one Captain Phillips or whatever with Tom Hanks with the Somali pirate. And it's a picture of that pirate, and Justin sent it to me. Like,
I am the captain now.
Yeah, no, he's like, look at me. No, look at me. I am the Hungar now. Because I make all the weapons and armor in the game. So it had to go on the Discord. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I needed armor.
I am the Hungar now.
Oh. You should put that on a shirt.
Yeah, it's one of your shirt variants. I am the Hungar now.
Totes.
Hungar, what is good in life?
Crush your enemies. See them living before you. You hear the lamentations of their women.
Well,
to eat the pizza, to devour that pepperoni, to nom down those breadsticks.
Yes.
Yeah, I really actually, having read Conan, can't picture him ever actually feeling it that way.
Well, that was one of the big complaints about the movie because it's Conan was right, like the whole morality of the Arnold movies are ass backwards from the character arc.
Well, that Conan movie can join how many adaptations that have done that, but again, like many adaptations, if you look at it in isolation as its own thing, it's really good. That first Conan movie, Arnold movie, is such a work of art. It's
so great, brilliant. And he hardly ever speaks in a freaking movie.
Well, that was by design because the director George Milius, he realized that he had cast 3 lightweight actors. Arnold was still new to the game. George Lopez, who plays Subutai, he wasn't even an actor. He was a surfer who happened to be a friend of George Milius.
He was a professional surfer.
Yeah, and then Sandel Bergman, who I think at that point had only done adult films, and so he tells the story evocatively through visuals and music, and it's just an experience. It's wonderful. I mean, James Earl Jones carries it for the acting.
But Subutai is my favorite character.
Sorry, Hunger.
Subutai, thief and archer.
Yeah, but they still do well with what they're given. But and it's an enjoyable movie. The sequel, on the other hand, oh my god,
they're talking about part 3.
Part 3 could be good if Arnie is a little picky with the quality of the script. It could still work.
Yeah.
Now, for a fairly accurate adaptation, you want the 2000 whatever version with
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, not a good movie. More accurately adapted.
Right. What Justin's saying is. What he's saying is probably, I haven't seen it, but it's like it might be an accurate depiction of more the feel of Conan, but yeah, the quality isn't there. So it's like they've got it all wrong.
If you just count everything Howard ever wrote about Conan, certainly.
Yeah, I haven't watched the 2010 one, but there was another outside of the fantasy genre. I don't know if you guys have likely seen The Shining and Doctor Sleep. On the top of adaptations, I hated the Shining movie. I thought it was a piece of trash, but the book was amazing. But then you get the reverse. The Doctor Sleep book, actually written, which is the sequel, actually written by Stephen King, is a piece of trash. It reads like some teenage fanfic, whereas the movie was really good. It's like, why can't they get these things straight?
I'm 100% in lockstep with you on that.
The only thing of King's I ever really liked was Shawshank. That's the only thing I ever liked he did.
Shawshank's brilliant.
The movie
top 5 favorite movies. Yeah.
Now,
I haven't read the story, but
speaking of that, movies and books being different, and I had a friend of mine. She was a real big fan of the True Blood series. She loved the True Blood series. So she started reading the books.
Stackhouse is a good character.
She's like, these books are just trash.
I don't know. I preferred the books over the TV series.
I couldn't finish season 1 of the series. Books are not something I'll try.
I watched it for the boobs.
I admit I read the first Twilight book. You may laugh now.
I liked the Twilight books.
I watched some Dawson's Creek, Justin.
I have no problem with freaking Katie Holmes back when she was like 19. Okay.
When my niece was 12, 13, she was into Twilight, and she was like, you should read this book. You should. I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. I'm curious to see what the hype was about. And it's like, oh my God, was that bad? It was so bad. I can't believe this book got published, let alone spawned sequels.
Yeah, Twilight.
I don't know.
I read all the Harry Potter books because
Harry Potter books are really good though. Like they're like Shadow's shaking his head.
the books are so much different than the movies because Hermione was a little psychopath.
Yeah.
When she caught Rita Skeeter, Rita Skeeter turned into a beetle, and she caught her and put her in a jar and was just shaking the jar all the time. It was like, yeah, this is Rita Skeeter.
Well, she's a redhead, right?
What happens if she tries to turn back into a human? Oh, she'd die because I made the glass indestructible. And I'm like, wow. Or Hermione with the pins for Dumbledore's army. Mm-hmm. If you snitch, you get horribly disfigured. And she was completely cool with it. And then a girl was stitched and got horribly disfigured. And Hermione was like, yeah, screw her. Hermione was a psychopath.
Yep.
Holy
whatever. I can't say anything. My favorite is The Watchmen. And so
I've got all the
you talking movie or book or graphic novel?
Well, I like both, but the movie is definitely better.
Novels were great. The graphic novel was great.
I'm going to disagree with you, Shadow. We're all entitled to our opinions. The graphic novel is a work of art. The movie, wasn't bad. I don't mind it. Just think my problem with it is because they got it visually. They cast all of the actors but one was they nailed the roles.
What one did you like?
She played the Silk Spectre, the young one. I
Yeah,
can't remember
yeah.
the actress's name, but she was such a lightweight,
Sally
and she did
Jupiter?
not.
Yeah.
The daughter.
Right.
Why can't I'm blanking on the names, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And she was just not right. Like they cast Carla Gugino as the elder Silk Spectre, and then they had to age her to make her look older. But she was the right age, and she was perfect and a good actress to play the younger Silk Spectre. I'm like, what are you doing? And
Rorschach was right on point. And
Rorschach was on point. The
Oh.
Night Owl was on point. Everything was on point.
Yeah.
Visually, it was on point. The other problem, Zack Snyder as a filmmaker is a great visionary. He understands how to visually tell a story, but he sucks with narrative and theme. He did
That
not
intro,
understand.
Though, you got to admit that
Rorschach
first.
has the best plot.
I told my son because he didn't want to watch it. He was like, "I don't want to watch it, Dad." Like, look, 15 minutes. Just bear with me for 15 minutes. You watch it, and you don't like it, go do what you want to do. And 15 minutes roll by. I didn't say anything, and he's just like glued to it. Just
yeah.
like
Yeah, because it's
and
not a
I'm like-
terrible movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It doesn't have the depth. It doesn't have the.
And they changed the ending for
Yeah.
what
Right.
reason?
Well, which is better, I think.
When Rorschach tells the prisoners, "I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in
You're
here
stuck
with
in
me."
here with me. Well, that's
I mean,
right out of the
that-
comics.
Yeah.
That is such a classic. We hear that to this day. I just heard it the other day. I forget where. And of course, the music was just perfect. It was just absolutely a beautiful freaking soundtrack.
The comedian was great.
Yeah, no, they
Superman
cast
was
the
great.
casting was spot on, except for the younger Silk Spectre.
I could have done without the junk though.
The
Yeah, we all could.
junk.
We all
Yeah.
could. We all could. But that was in the book. For whatever
That
reason,
was
that
in
was
the-
in the book.
Graphic novel, yeah, he was trying to be accurate. So
The smartest human is as dangerous to me as the smartest
termite.
It's like, wow.
It's
John
kinda like
is.
John-
John is saying his best favorite film. There's 12 Angry Men. I don't disagree. It's a great
What
film.
version?
I assume the Henry Fonda version. Although I want to see the
Right,
one
right.
from the 90s. I can't find it anywhere, but I'd be curious to watch it.
My favorite film.
I feel the same way, Sean, with John Carter, Warlord of Mars. The woman they picked for Deja Thoris was just not even close, in my opinion. She was just
She was attractive.
not even. Right, but she wasn't, top 10. I mean, I'd never heard of her, and she just didn't. She just
Well, they went
didn't
for
have
the
what
face
it
for
took.
the money.
right.
Now, if they'd done the costume accurate to the way it's described,
That would have been a
That
lot
would have been a
better.
little better. That would have been a little better. I'm not going to lie, but I mean, it was really just her face. Her face just
the movie
was
would have
kind
also
of
gotten an
plain.
X rating.
at least an R, and we were talking Disney, 2012, which was kind of badass. 2012 was exactly 100 years from the time it was written, and if you think about that for a second, 100 years ago, Burroughs was writing that 100 years ago. That was kind of, epic genius. There's a reason why, all of the greats out there were partially inspired by at least Princess of Mars.
I've got all the Mars books on audio, and I've read them all in paperback too. They're just great.
What a coincidence! I have all
Same
the
here.
Mars bars in my fridge.
Those are
But
good.
you
Those are
guys
good.
got
Does anybody?
another great film.
Okay, Mage. Hungar wants you to do something for him. He wants you to mail him some coffee crisp
Why can't you mail them coffee crisp?
because I
Because
refuse
Justin's lazy.
Hey, does anybody here remember when Mars Bar was actually 2 or 3 bars in a package, not just one, and
No.
completely different, not just Snickers?
They're
Well,
Mars
that's a
bars.
regional thing. Yeah, like I've never saw that with Mars bars, but I saw that with other candy bars.
Yeah.
But let's talk
Marbar
about
was-
the usual. Hey, let's talk about the usual suspects and the great lines in that movie.
That's a brilliant film. I saw that film on opening day with two friends of mine. One friend of mine who had polio as a kid, so he had a funny walk, like his legs didn't work properly. And then we come walking out of that film, noticing his walk, and it's like, "Is there something you want to tell us there, Pierre?"
Guys are so sad.
Yeah, both my parents had polio, Sean.
But you know what you're gonna do if you go back in? Yeah. If your father and have a snack. Like, whoa, did you just say that to a cop? Like, holy shit. They did really good on that whole cast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was a great movie. And
All
thus
right.
the conversation ends. There's nothing else to say. It was a great movie. Well,
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, right.
I
We have
bought
the
a
same
copy of
problem
it. It's a good
on
movie.
Connell's show. If it's a good movie we're reviewing, it's supposed to be a 2-hour review between the 4, 5, or 6 of us.
5 minutes.
If
Yeah,
it's
it was
a good
great. We loved
movie-
it. Quiet.
Yep.
That's why you
All
gotta
right.
pick mediocre films.
That,
You gotta-
Jackie is the king of that one, isn't he?
Pick Zombie Beaver.
Zombie Beaver. I think I saw that.
No, he picked The Scientist and what was the other one? Oh, I can't remember. He picked 2 movies he got from Dollar Tree for us to review.
Well, I think if you're doing it in advance, then you can bring up talking points. We're just sort of casually bringing stuff up. So it's like, I haven't thought about these usual suspects in years. So it's like, all right, I have to think back on it.
I'm terrible with lines too, so
You'll dig it. You'll dig it. Crafting. Make sure that one is the first. I'm pretty sure that one's the first in the 2-book series. I think Eye of Cat is the sequel, but it will definitely open your eyes on how to work magic.
Oh, he's bringing us back to games. Okay, we can talk games.
oh
Yeah,
Never,
I just
never.
Did a review of, I just did a review of the Amber Diceless role-playing game, and it was pretty funny because at the same time, Venger was uploading his latest video about playing Diceless, and I know a lot of people think that's blasphemy, but you know what? It was weird because we were both talking about the same thing, same time.
It's not weird because my ex and her husband and some of their friends, they play Vampire the Masquerade, the tabletop game, but they use rock, paper, scissors instead of the dice.
Ugh. I mean, okay, if you want to play diceless, then it's like fine. I don't believe any style of play is invalid. But it's like, all right, if you're playing diceless, then effectively you're just having an improv session.
Yeah. No. That's the cool thing with Amber is the rules actually, because it's a point-buy system. You buy certain stats and things like that, and if yours is higher than the other guy, well, then you kind of win, don't you? Unless, and it works that way for a whole bunch of things. But when you're building your character, you could, because like say you need extra points to buy this ability, and you're going negative. That means that the equivalent of your dice rolls are all going to fail because you're in deficit. You owe the universe some points. So until you fix that through gaining like experience and then paying it back, you're going to be at a minus at just about everything until you fix that. And some people will play their character the whole time and never remove that deficit because they don't mind the bad luck. It sort of follows them around. And they like that, playing edgelord or something like that. Just that character who's, perpetually, owing the universe a little something.
It's an interesting idea, but I like my shiny math rocks.
I like them too, but this is I wouldn't recommend it for any other
you should get off the
concept other
map.
than playing Amber. If you're going to try to play that in a D&D game, no, it's not going to work.
Right.
If you were
Well, I
trying to
mean,
play,
yeah. You
Use
play
that
the system
right here.
that's in front of you.
I paid $1.99 for these dice. And I will tell you
Dude.
what, the percentile dice on this set right here has been nothing but spectacular playing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I mean, if I was wanting to roll high, I'd be screwed. But these dice right here, they roll in like the teens and 20s all day long.
So you bought loaded dice, effectively.
You know what? No, because the other day when it really counted, I rolled a 98. and got my arm almost all the way cut off. Yeah,
Not fun.
Shiny math rocks.
that's right.
The Death
Did
of
you
Snake
guys
characters.
see the ones I got? Did you guys happen to catch the light up ones I got? Those
Yeah,
are pretty
what's not-
spiffy.
Like I said, you really got to get off the math. It's not good for you. You're not gonna-
Keeps the brain sharp, Justin.
Justin, you're the worst Canadian ever, dude.
Yeah. Next thing
Hey,
you know,
what's
your
up,
teeth are gonna
HP?
fall
Welcome
out.
to the show.
You're gonna look 90.
Who's that on the show?
Holy Diver.
Oh, he's been on the show. He's working hard today.
Yeah.
Well, you don't pull up the all the chats, so I had to go look, and I
I'm
saw
not gonna
that.
pull up every single freaking chat.
I
You want
tried.
to see him flexing his arm and going, I'm a ghost 3 times?
If next week we'll see him, his arms in a sling.
There you go.
See, I pulled up the ones Crafty Gamer had for you.
Because you were talking about him.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said it before and I say it again. The Amber books are fantastic. Love the Amber books.
I couldn't get into them, man.
My mom turned me on to them and I freaking loved them. Heard of
How
the
old
game?
were you, Justin?
4 or 5 years ago, I tried.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
heard of the game.
I might try it
know
again,
People
but-
who's played the game. I think James has played the game. I just never got into it.
Well, like I said, if you haven't read the books, which from what I recall, he said he'd never, fully. If you can make it through all 5, and
I think it could be because I have them on audio. I tried them on audio, and I think it's Will Wheaton that's reading them.
Oh God!
see, there's your first mistake. Believe it or not, I have a copy of them on cassette, unfortunately, where they're actually read by the author Roger, who's a friend of mine, and he actually, he's one of the few authors I've ever seen to read his own books like that, and it was
Neil Gaiman
it was
does
so
that.
much.
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman does that with his books. Like I have American
Okay.
Gods and Neverwhere on audio and the Graveyard Book, and Neil Gaiman reads his own books
Yeah.
on the audio, and
That's
it
cool.
makes
That's
it so
cool.
much better.
Yeah, I actually like a bunch of his work. I actually have a #1 Sandman from back in the day, and that was a rough comic.
I've got the Death Takes a Holiday book.
Death takes a holiday.
Yeah, Death is Sandman's.
I know.
And there was a comic book. It was a one-off comic. Death Takes a Holiday, and it was just I love Neil Gaiman's work.
Okay.
American Gods is a great freaking novel.
I'm personally not a fan.
Hello, Padre.
Hey, yeah, what
Ooh.
up, the Dungeon Minister? Everybody comes onto the show right when it's over.
Well,
Right, I
that
know,
means
right?
you gotta start
Hey,
extending it.
what's up, Minister?
Well, you guys can extend it. I got stuff I've got to do.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah,
so-
I'm
It's in
procrastinating from some recording, but yeah, so it's a good time to end if you're calling it. At least for me.
Yeah. I
Uh,
got to run into town. I'm digging Tennessee, guys. I'm really digging.
So you all moved in? Everything's good?
90%, everything's ready to go. I'm really not doing much more than I did in Florida. I'm actually doing less. I'm not going to Starbucks every day and stuff like that. I go to Hungar Bucks.
yeah. He's gonna start making that with butter.
No, Padre, it is definitely not you. Like I said, you're like one of my favorite shows. Kick them in the nuts. That's right.
Definitely.
You-
As a matter of fact, my son's been watching your show with me. He really, really likes what you do.
I want to know what's roguish about any of us.
Everything. Come on, look at us.
Are you kidding me? Are you're being serious,
I am an
right?
absolute conformist over here.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to figure. So Shadow, if we were a D&D group, Shadow would definitely be the rogue. Clearly, I'd be the wizard. Hungar would be the barbarian. And so what would Justin, what would you be? What class would you be in a D&D group?
The bard. He's the bard.
He would be the troll.
Yeah,
He's
I'd
a
just
bard.
be a troll.
You'd be a troll.
I don't know. Are you allowing the jester? Are you allowing the jester from Dungeon Magazine, Dragon Magazine?
He would be the bard, and of course, Padre would definitely be the cleric.
Well, yeah, it goes without saying.
Yeah, mine is coming back in nicely.
I will have you
Keep it up.
know that when you get to the dungeon or the end temple or whatever the climax of the scenario is, I will be standing there.
Yeah, Justin's
Looking back at us.
Justin's the big bad guy.
So he's the Kwisatz Haderach.
Yeah, Azaras. Have you seen the preview for the next Dune movie?
I saw that there was a preview. I haven't even watched the first Dune movie, so
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean,
I keep hearing that. I'll get to it someday.
I don't like all the changes they did, but the story's nice.
Yeah, I'll get to
Yeah,
it. I tried watching the original, couldn't get more than 15 minutes in. I was like, yeah.
You
no.
don't like the original?
No. A friend of mine is offended by that too. He's like, I can't believe you couldn't watch this movie. He just no.
So DM James is live
It's
now.
good up until the last second when it starts to rain.
So if you guys want to continue watching the live stream, DM James is live.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, the bastard never comes on my show.
Yeah, well, I told you not to ban him.
My own brother.
More
I'm gonna
procrastination
go over there.
fodder.
I'm going to go over there and heckling.
I will join you.
All right, guys, have a great
Okay.
day. It was an
All
awesome
right.
stream.
Good day, everyone.
Party on, everyone.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
Ooh, chicken grease.
Mm.